Hi, and welcome to this vocabulary lesson because we are going to look at synonyms, collocations in context, and words that belong in the word family. I hope you'll stick around with me every single day, learn these 3,000 words with me. Downwards. Downwards is a direction. He's going downwards. This movie really went downwards. Anything can go down, right? Downwards, it's a direction, and we use it to mean descending, but descending does not have the same feeling to it. Downwards this is really bad. Descending can just mean a description of going down. Lowered, downhill, downgrade. Downgrade is like you would get a downgrade or an upgrade. If you get a downgrade, it's, let's say you went to a hotel and they gave you a really nice room, but they charged you a lot. And you said, you know what? I do not need this nice room. I can take a downgrade. I can go to a less nice room and pay less money. That's a downgrade. And an upgrade would be you're in your room and you're like, you know what? I have some extra money and I want a nicer view. I'm going to go change my room for an upgrade. You upgrade something or you make it nicer. So downgrade is to make it less nice, and upgrade is to make it more nice. Downwards is anything that goes from higher to lower. It's the direction of the movement. Let's look at some examples. So in physical movement, it's moving from a higher place to a lower place. For example, the eagle circled once and then swooped downwards toward the river. You can move downwards or fall downwards, flow downwards, slide downwards. This describes a direction and it's pretty neutral. So I used to be a skier. I was a ski instructor for several years at Park City Mountain Resort in the United States. And one of the things I learned when I was a skier and a ski instructor is that you're doing something right if you fall downwards. Okay, so if you're skiing and you fall so your body is lower than your skis, then you were probably doing something right and you should keep doing that, just learn how to control it. But if you fall upwards so your body is above your skis, then you were not in the right stance. You were leaning back and you were probably afraid. So you were doing something wrong. So this is physical movement. You want to fall, if you're going to fall when you're skiing, which usually doesn't hurt a lot, you want to fall downwards because it means your body was moving in the right direction, downwards. Looking or facing down. So this is talking about the directions of one's head or attention towards something below. She kept her eyes pointed downwards during the interview. Oh, don't do that in the United States. So the United States is big on eye contact. Perhaps all Western culture is big on eye contact. We want you to look us in the eye because that's how we tell you're being honest and authentic. Other cultures don't see it as honest and authentic. Other cultures might see it as a challenge. But in the United States, if you're in a job interview, look people in the eye. She kept her eyes pointed downward during the interview. Gaze downward. So I'm looking not at you. I'm looking maybe down at my feet. Look downwards, glance downwards. Glance is a quick glance and then back up. Face downward. That's your whole face looking down. It can suggest shyness or sadness, embarrassment, or concentration if you're looking downwards. We use the word downwards to talk about trends or numbers, and that's where this picture comes from. We're moving in that direction, even though sometimes it goes up. The whole trend is that it's going downwards. Sales had been moving downwards since the beginning of the year. So it trends downwards, it moves downwards, it can spiral downwards, it can drift downwards. These are often negative because it suggests a decline or a deterioration, to trend downwards. Now, all of these, the word downwards with the S is going to end the clause. We have a new clause here since the beginning of the year. That's a new clause, but this is ending the thought right here. If I use this as adjective, then I would take the S off. I would say the downward trend, the downward spiral, the downward drift. We use downwards to talk about a lowering of standards, and this is what I was talking about with the downgrade or the upgrade at the hotel. We move to a lower level of quality, success, or social position. The company entered a downward cycle, and I would not put the S here. I would say the downward cycle after losing several major clients. So we'd have a downward spiral, downward trend, downward trajectory, or downward movement. This is strongly negative. It suggests a worsening of circumstances. Downward, and then a noun. We're making downward the adjective in this sentence. Starting from a certain point and then including everything below it. So from here, downwards. The museum offers free admission for children aged 10 years and downwards. So it's talking about a range from X downwards, or we can say downward from, aged 10 and downwards. This is neutral. It's often used in formal and informal contexts. Some additional examples are water naturally flows downwards due to gravity. Which direction? Downwards. His thumb pointed downwards, signaling disapproval. House prices have continued to trend downwards this quarter. Without intervention, the economy could enter a downward spiral, and this one I would not put the S on. I would say a downward spiral and make it the adjective. The program is designed for students aged 12 and downwards. The phrase downward spiral is particularly common, and it's downward spiral, and often describes a situation that is becoming progressively worse, such as a person's finances, health, or emotional state. He's in a downward spiral. Now, if someone is in a spiral or they are spiraling, especially a downward spiral, it means they are quickly losing control. So to say someone is in a downward spiral, they are spinning out of control. We can say they are spiraling. The opposite of downward is upward or upwards. And it has all of the same connotations, only the opposite as downwards. The noun, I would say, is downwards. The verb is descend. It's to move from a high place to a low place. The adjective is downward, and the adverb is downwards. Downwards. I really hope that you enjoyed this word. Research shows that if you know 3,000 words, then you can pretty much say anything you need to say. I hope I'll see you tomorrow, and please like and subscribe.